According to the Local Government Association, there are over 78,000 young people in the UK living in foster care today. So, Tracy Beaker was a show that I watched when I was quite young that showed me the experience of young people that lived in foster care in the UK. As a young person, I watched the show and I believed the foster care system was exactly like this.
Sit down, everyone.
Move that bum, Tracy. Oh, that's it!
Where are you going?
Somewhere I'm not going to be sat on, squashed up and cried out by you lot.
You can't go now, Tracy. This is just like being back at home.
Exactly!
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, hey, hello, welcome. So today I'm going to be talking about my foster care experience, okay? The good, the bad, and the ugly. So stay tuned. Make sure you watch all the way until the end because you don't want to miss this, okay? And yeah, let's get into this video without further ado. So let me start this video by giving you a bit of a background. So I've been in foster care since I was 14. Okay, I came into foster care June the 29th, 2015. I remember that day because that day was a traumatic day for me. So yeah, because my dad sent me to foster care. If you want me to do a whole story about that, I've done it already on my YouTube channel, but that was like a year ago. So I might decide to do a whole story time for new subscribers. So if you want me to do that, just comment it down below and so on. But yeah, so let me start by talking about my whole experience, okay? So when I first came into foster care, I went into foster care not knowing like what it was going to be like. I've heard some rumors about Tracy Beaker and how foster care is a really bad system for young people because there are loads of stereotypes that young people that end up in foster care, most of them go into crimes, the girls get pregnant, they get into prostitution and all those things. And you know, I already had like a bad perception, but I wasn't like going in as a 14-year-old thinking I was going to end up like that because I've always been like a very motivated young person, if you know what I mean. I've always been like heads on. I was always good in school. So yeah, I didn't really think of it like that. I didn't really think of myself ending up in a bad place. And yeah, so I went into foster care. I was put into foster care with my Asian family. They're amazing. I might insert a picture here. Yeah, so I went into this house and I was like, wow, this is not what I thought like a foster care house would be, because people usually say that foster care house look like they have bunk beds everywhere with foster kids and so on. But I was fostered in London, and yeah, foster care isn't as what it was before, isn't what it used to be before, basically. So yeah, I came in, I met my foster carer. She was lovely. Her house was amazing. Whew. When I say like her house, they're a very amazing family. Like even the vibe of the house, I came in when it was summertime. The vibe of the house was amazing. It was beautiful. They had 3 sons. And yeah, so I was just getting accustomed to it. They said that me being with the Asian family, it wasn't like my permanent, I wasn't meant to stay there for long, basically. So I thought I was going to move, but I ended up staying there until I had to move and live independently by myself. So yeah, so I stayed there throughout my whole foster care childhood, which was like 14 to 18. So I was really lucky in that sense because I found a family that really took care of me, that really loved me as a foster kid, and they really like just made me the woman I am today. A lot of people expect Black kids to be with Black foster families, But me, when I was a child, I didn't really care who I was placed with. I just wanted a good home where I could be happy and be safe and so on. And yeah, so when I used to go out with like my foster families, out with my foster family, I will notice I would get like stares and so on because they'll think like, was a black was a black girl doing with like an Asian family? And it was like sometimes I was just like, why are they looking at me? Stop looking at me, like, okay. And of course, I understand why people were looking because they were confused, like, is she adopted? Is she just a family friend? And so on. So yeah, that was like what happened to me. But despite that, my whole experience living with my foster family was amazing.
Press it and hold it.
I am.
Watch it, Miriam.
So we would go out together, we would go to restaurants, we would go to the park together, would have fun like in the house, would watch movies. My foster mom, she was so cherishing. She was like, we would do things together, and she helped me fight so many battles that I had with my social worker and so on. But I'm going to talk about that as we progress throughout the video. But yeah, until this day, I still see my foster carers. Like, I'm living independently, but I still go and visit them because they have such a special place in my heart. Yeah, I've heard so many crazy foster care stories about like their foster carers like abusing them, sexually abusing them and so on. So in my situation, I was so lucky. Yeah, that's a bit of a background, okay? Yeah, that's the good thing I experienced from foster care. Let's now go on to the bad, okay? Let's go on to the bad, okay? So guys, I noticed whilst I was recording this part, the camera was actually not recording. So that is so sad because I need to say it all over again, but I'm just going to speed through the process. So my bad experience with foster care was to do with the social workers and my voice not being listened to. So when I first came into foster care, I had an immigration issue in terms of my Spanish passport. So my dad made my life difficult and did not want to give me my Spanish passport. So that really hindered a lot of opportunities I could go for. So in terms of jobs, in terms of getting a driver's license, in terms of that. So I would voice that concern to my social worker and, you know, I need my passport, I need this, I need that, because it's really important. Even getting bursaries in schools, even down to going to uni, you do need a European passport and stuff like that. So yeah. That took them a while to do that. So imagine I started telling them in 2014 about my immigration status and so on, and it only got sorted out in 2018. That's when I got my British passport, and that took me pestering them, writing emails to the local government, writing letters to my MP and so on, which MP means member of parliament within your specific constituency where you live in. So yeah, I had to do that. It's like, why do I need to do all that when you're my social worker and I'm a young person? Like, you need to start listening to my voice more. You need to start doing your job and not just sluggishly doing things, because stuff like this are important to young people. I've sat down in meetings where young people tell us like stories about them not being heard and their social worker being very lazy and not doing what they say. Some young people may go, you know, they may not have jobs or they may not have financial support. And that to me is basically sad because they aren't being listened to. And when young people have concerns, you need to listen to them because their life may be at risk, or they might not feel that they're being supported by a system which should support them, you know what I mean? And yeah, but there are system put in place. For example, I have an advocate which has helped me with so many different process, but despite that, social workers are there to make young people's life easier. If they do not listen to young people, they're basically undermining the system, and that's what young people in foster care really, really hate about the system, not being listened to and just being ignored and so on. But yeah, that's my bad experience about being in foster care. I could go into more detail about this. If you want me to, just comment down below and say, I want you to do this and so on, and I will do it for you. I might, if you want me to tell my immigration story about how I finally got my British passport, just comment it down below and I will, guys. Okay, without further ado, let's just get into the final part of this video and let's end it. And I hope you enjoy this video and I hope you subscribe. And yeah, so despite saying all that, there are like people within the foster care system that do advocate for young people. So I have an advocate that really like pushed for me to get my passport, that really pushed for me to get like this house that I'm in right now. So yeah, it's very, 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 very important for the foster care system to provide advocates for young people, especially. And yeah, I feel like in terms of social workers, we need to get social workers that actually really, really care about young people and really put their needs forward, and really check that young people are okay. That's what we need to start seeing in the foster care system. But despite that, I would say like the foster care system has provided me with a lot of opportunities, like giving me the opportunity to interview professionals like for within the foster care system, so they know like young people can really rely on those professionals. I've had opportunities to go to different trips and so on. So yeah, it's been like my experience overall, I wouldn't say it was bad. I've had some hiccups here and there with social workers, but I wouldn't say my experience with foster care has been bad. It's really elevated me to become this woman I am today. Yeah, and it's provided me loads of opportunities to really see that I'm, worthy of success. I've had so much success since I've moved to foster care. If you guys want to know why I moved into foster care, please comment down below. But besides that, I'm just going to end the video here. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and peace.